Man and sport, a timeless means of entertainment. Some men hit home runs, others are curb stomped. Some win Cy Youngs, others get dunked on. Some men become MVPs, others have 70 saves in a game. But your stats won't matter here. Here we discuss the issues, search the hearts of men, and judge in vivid detail. Only raw takes will do. This is sports analysis. This is Sports Unchained. This is Sporticus! Hey guys, Sporticus is all over social media. You can find us on Rockfin. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Anchor, Twitter, and Patreon, all under Sporticus or Sporticus Live. Come holla at us. I always start recording I always start recording when someone says, "Hey man, let me know when you start recording." Exactly every single time. I've never failed to do that. So we are live, buddy. Not live, but
yeah, live enough.
Right, we're alive. That's a good thing to be.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this. I was disappointed in the outcomes of the fights. Those fights being the last card. 268? Was it 268 or 269? 268, right?
Happened?
Yes, 268.
Yeah, 268, yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they weren't good fights. I'm just saying I'm disappointed with the outcomes of the main card because, some of the prelims too. I didn't think Iaquinta was going to get knocked the fuck out, but, apparently. Well, okay, that's not true. I did actually think that he could lose like that, but, I was like, nah, instead of getting knocked out, he's probably going to, go to a good decision, have a really good fight, and go from there. It was two ways it could go. It wasn't going to be no split decision and all that extra shit. It was either him getting knocked out or him looking really good in that fight. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just wanted some things to change. That's all. And the only reason I want them to change is because we always run into this question and its problem rather. Who's next? That's what I always love to ask. Like, I don't see exciting fights in front of anybody, Rose Namajunas is at the top of her game and so is, Kamaru Usman. So it's not that I need to root for them to lose, but it just seems like that's the far more interesting route. If they had dropped the title, there are more people for, Colby Covington and, Zhang Weili to fight. So, what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I'm sad that you led into UFC 268 with disappointment, or at least to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because that was such a good card for me.
No, not the card itself, not the fights, the outcomes. I want to stress that again.
Either way, because did you really think that Covington was going to beat Usman? The question of what's next for Kamaru Usman literally wasn't going to be answered with this fight. It might not even be answered with the next fight. You know what I mean?
No, I think, no, he would have had a fight to get him back into it, and then he would have probably went for his title again. You know, he probably would have to fight Colby Covington again for a trilogy. You know,
well, yeah, it would have been an immediate rematch. They would have just solved the story 3 months from now. Like I'm saying, like, did you really think he wasn't going to win? Like Colby Covington.
No.
Don't get me wrong. He would be champion if Usman wasn't there, but he's there.
No, I knew Usman would win. I thought he was gonna knock him out actually. And he almost did a couple times. And it looked kind of shaky for him a couple times. You know, he almost, it was a couple times where he could have lost that fight. Colby Covington didn't have quite enough, to pull out enough rounds, but he was a couple punches away. I think if he had led with his wrestling a little bit more, in the beginning, he might have edged him out. Not saying the judges would have scored it for him, but, you know, he would have edged him out and it would have been one of those controversial things. That happens all the time. But like I said, it was a good fight actually. Usman, we haven't seen him look like that vulnerable at all since, that's like what, 10 seconds with Gilbert Burns?
Yeah.
Where he made him look human?
Yeah.
You know, like, that was the most human he's looked since the last time he fought Colby Covington. And he wasn't stupid about it. It was kind of weird because he knew he couldn't take him out. At some point he was like, damn, like this dude's just gonna be here like he was last time. You could see it in his face. I think it was like the second round. He was like, fuck. like, I gotta fight him. You know, and he it wasn't that he was worried that he was gonna lose. It's just that no one drags him to those, you know, rounds like that anymore. Nobody's ever really done that to him except Colby Covington, you know.
Right.
But anyway, no, go ahead. You expressed your disappointment with me being disappointed.
Okay, well, I love this card. I still love this card, even with the decisions. Even some of them were more surprising. I thought there was going to be more finishes in some of them than there were in others. Like, but the whole card by and large was stacked. And 269 stacked. Like, we're in for a good time of fighting. But with 268, I mean, we led with Usman Covington, which honestly I don't really want to spend a lot more time on. You know, like
we don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to.
Like, I'll finish it off and just be like, look, like, Kamaru Usman is on a different level. He needs to fight different level competition. So if he needs to move up or down, I don't know, but he says he won't fight Israel Adesanya. So I think they could make that fight happen, but it's going to take a pretty penny from the UFC to make both of those guys fight each other. Like, they've already even talked about it in interviews. Like, look, like, I don't want to fight a fellow countryman. It would take, you know, a lot of money for us to even do it as friends. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is all something that, like, there are no questions answered for Kamaru Usman at his greatness. Now, who else does that remind you of? Like, when a welterweight in the UFC has cleaned out the entire division, who does that remind you of? George St. Pierre.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're looking at Kamaru Usman and George St. Pierre. Dana White says he thinks that Usman's the best welterweight in the world. I'm sitting there like, okay, but GSP was always at such a high level that we couldn't tell who he should be facing. This is a guy that, you know, St. Pierre should have fought years ago, but like you obviously couldn't do that,
right,
because of, like, you know, the storyline being what it is. But like, man, that was the guy that, like, Kamaru Usman, like, if times had been different, that would have been a great fight. You know,
I'll say this one thing about, it would have been a great fight. He would have had to respect him too much. He probably would have ended up losing. It's crazy how that always pans out like that. People are like, oh, George St. Pierre's boring. It's like, no, even Johnny Hendricks, who just hit like Thor's hammer, you know, he hit like, he had the hands of Mjolnir, you know, like he would punch, he hit him, but he couldn't knock him out. And that says a lot about George St. Pierre. It's not like he's not been in there with killers. You know what I'm saying? People act like, I really hate this. It's the LeBron effect too. You know, they say, oh no, he's better than Jordan because of these numbers or that stat. It's like, no, Jordan faced the greatest people of that time. Like Matt Hughes was easily the best, right? We all agreed Matt Hughes was the greatest of all time at the moment. And then George St. Pierre dethroned him and get, you know, when you dethrone a guy, he lost to him, and then he dethroned him. We don't even have a lot of that anymore. A lot of people aren't even, like, we'll get these undefeated people, and it's like, how do you test their mettle? How do you know they were as good as they were if they never lost? Now that sounds a little weird to people, but Jordan didn't just go to the finals every single year. He lost a lot before he got there. Muhammad Ali has losses on his record. You know what I mean? Like, George St. Pierre, losses, bounce back from them, and that's what like I said, we just don't see that anymore. I'm not saying you need to lose. I'm saying we don't see that ability from people to come back. Like, Amanda Nunes has, losses on her record.
Yeah.
And she clearly bounced back from them, and she's the GOAT. And she's getting her ass kicked against Randomly in like the first or second round. She was beating the hell out of her. I thought she was gonna knock her out. She could have, but Amanda Nunes was like, "No, I'm taking this shit to the ground because I'm not gonna let you knock me out, because that's where it's gonna lead to." And it would have. If anybody's listening to this and you think that Randomly was not gonna knock out Amanda Nunes, you're fucking crazy. It kept leading that way, but that's why she took her down. If you don't believe me, watch her get kicked and then say, fuck this, and take her down. Anyway, it's just crazy that people, yes, Usman absolutely deserves to be in the conversation, but let's not throw out who George St. Pierre beat and his record just because we're, prisoners of the moment or recency bias, whatever catchphrase you want to use to say stupid ass millennials are doing stupid millennial shit.
No, it's like Gen Y or something like that, man.
Yeah, those fucking clowns. Fuck you. Hey, get off my lawn. I'm gonna have a lawn soon, and I don't want you on it. Who the fuck wants somebody on that lawn? Ain't that a weird saying? Get off my lawn. Oh, you're the old man, saying get off my lawn. Like, yeah, get the fuck off of someone's lawn. Like, it takes money to get that shit all nice and everything, and it's literally their property. Don't be on someone's lawn. That shouldn't even be a real thing. Anyway.
Put up a fence.
Get off my fucking lawn. I gotta put up a fence? I gotta put a gate up to keep you out of it?
Big fence, just like put up a little fence.
Man, let me catch you on my
People don't step on like 100% of lawns that have little fences on
them. I get that part, and I'm all with that. I totally agree. It's just like, why do I have to do that?
Because you want people off your lawn, right?
All right. I guess so, man. Yo.
I'm sorry. Okay, so the next fight that I want to talk about, I kind of want to go in descending order of the actual main card. Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili. I'm surprised that was a split decision. I thought Namajunas won enough rounds to make it not split, but like, I guess I understand where the judges are coming from. I didn't think it was that close.
Yeah.
Zhang Weili did not.
It was.
Thought she would be.
It was, but yeah, I feel the same way you do. It should have been a unanimous decision, but not, it was close. It really was. I can understand the split decision, but at the same time, I wouldn't have scored it like that. I think it was unanimous decision. I think she just edged her out. Just barely edged her out, in a couple rounds, and that's all it takes. That's exactly what it takes.
Well, Zhang Weili came in talking about how hungry she was and like how this is going to be this way and not this way, like, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, like, I saw the hunger after like, the first maybe round and a half, like, I saw the hunger die and I saw Rose.
Yeah.
The thing that I didn't like about this fight is neither of these ladies were like all that intense. Like Rose Namajunas is normally super intense. And
they were surviving. They were kind of scared.
She had that moment at the end with her parents and everything, and that was super cool and everything. You saw Michael Bisping in the background as well, but I kind of wanted more intensity because, like, the Edgar Vera fight the Edgar versus Chito Vera fight.
Oh my God.
The fucking Gaethje fight. Oh, dude, I got to tell you, when I saw that they moved Gaethje Chandler down to the first fight of the main card, I almost shit myself. And it took me a couple minutes to think about it and like really be like, all right, like I get where they're coming from. I just want to see.
No, that was great that they did that. I'm so glad they did that.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. That's how you start off cards, man. You don't have to put. You don't have. If it's a set card, you put a dope ass fight.
Okay, I agree. You can put that kind of fight first, right? But that's when you put Frankie Edgar Chito Vera first. You don't put Gaethje Chandler first. That does
No,
okay.
I disagree. Get that shit cracking, bro. Get it cracking.
Yeah, but some people
stop
don't.
playing.
Some people
We
don't.
didn't know.
Some people don't catch the first fight of the main card.
That's too bad. You either got to be sitting there watching it or not, man. Did you?
But
miss
how
it?
you expect to grow fans when they don't see that fight and then they just see highlights? I'm like, oh, I missed that fight.
But at the same time, you've got to give them a payoff immediately, and they oftentimes don't do that. This was great. I thought that moving it to the first fight was amazing because you setting the tone for the whole pay-per-view. And often, like I said, oftentimes they just put in not a lackluster fight, but you could tell it's beginning, and people be like, oh well, I missed that one. But if you put a really dope fight in the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm there. Like, I think that's how you sell pay-per-views, man. You know what I'm saying? Put something dope in there and in the beginning. But regardless, I understand you saying like, hey, nah, put that right before like the title fights too. I understand that as well, but I was really liking them putting it first. I didn't want to see Frankie Edgar get his ass knocked out, in the first, I want to see him get knocked out. There ain't no mistake about it, but I didn't want to see that happen to him in the first fight. You know, man, did he get, boy, did you see the freeze frame of like his face?
Yeah. Yeah, he got Thor Belfort versus Anderson Silva, bro.
Oh my God. Like, I can't believe he looks, it's gross. It's really gross.
I think you're a little hard on Frankie Edgar. I love Frankie Edgar.
I just don't care. I don't. I wanted him to fight, and, Conor McGregor never did. That was the only fight I really cared about him being in after the, BJ Penn fight. I just don't care. He's, it's not that he's not a really good fighter. It's just, he's, to me, what people say GSP is. You know, boring and put like in a good way. I don't know. Like, I said,
like you can't root against him, but you're not going to root for him.
Yeah. You know, like, and I'll watch his fight. I can't take away credit from him. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of fights where I'm kind of like, I'll pass. Like, I don't need to see the fight. You know, like that fight wasn't doing anything for me until he randomly lost. That was random as fuck, man. I was like, whoa, well that fight's over. I'm with all my friends and stuff. It's me and my homie Fredo and like his wife and family and my wife and family, and like that just happened. We were watching the Canelo fight as well, and that both just, you know, like there was a knockout like right around that too that happened just out of fucking nowhere. So it was great to see. I mean, too bad it happened to Frankie Edgar. I mean, but it's funny when it happens to him. So I'm sorry. Well, you don't expect it.
I was going to say his last two fights are against Corey Sandhagen and Chito Vera, and they're both devastating knockouts.
You know that means he has to retire now, right?
Yes.
Like when he's catching the cowboy. Like once you start to get knocked the fuck out, get out, get out of there.
Like that? Like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yes. Because it becomes a timing issue. Like you're letting shit just come get you, whereas when you were younger, you wouldn't even be there. You know, and it's Father Time, man. That's all it is. It's you going through your progressions just a little bit slower, you know?
Well, even if I was to forgive the Corey Sandhagen knockout, because that was just like a really good knee, this one not forgivable. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, there's no way he should have let that shit come in there like that. Same with hey, you know when I stopped, liking Vitor Belfort? When he got kicked in his face like that by Anderson Silva. I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. And I can't respect him anymore. I can't. And people, you know, like, no, I can't. And I shouldn't respect him, anymore at all. Not just his steroid shit, but seriously. The reason I shouldn't respect him is because you don't, like you said, you don't let stuff like that slide. You don't. And he talked a lot of shit. He was on top of Anderson Silva. He was right on top of him. He blitzed him. He should have won that fight. Instead, got caught slipping. Kick right in the face. You retire. I would have been fine if he retired. He'd had a great career to then. He could have retired then.
Yeah.
Frankie Edgar needs to, I'm telling you, man, when that happens, you gotta go. You gotta fucking go. I mean, and it's not, when you're that old, when you've had that many fights, I should say, when you're that much of a veteran, and you know, all your fights start to catch up with you, and you get knocked out like that, that's when you retire. That is when you do it. Not just if you get kicked in the face like that, retire. I mean, maybe you might want to look into retire anyway, no matter how many fights you had. I'm saying, you know, like, I mean, am I wrong in that assessment?
No, not at all.
I mean, you get kicked in the face like that, that's a literal fucking wake up call. You know, they got smelling salts and shit, all trying to wake you up. But anyway, you know.
Well, remember, Cerrone got knocked out by McGregor. It started off with those shoulder shots, and it's like, all right, man, if that's real, then you need to stop. You just need to retire. Just stop.
Yeah, cause that didn't even used to be a thing. Like, I guess I've seen it before, but like, come on, man. No.
Like, nobody.
Right. No, you're right. Not like that. Like, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And then he was gone already. Like, it was weird. Like again, Cerrone's kind of like Edgar to me. Like, I'm like, man, I don't care. You know, I'm not gonna root against him. Like, I can't root against him necessarily, but, I don't have to root for him. So I'm like, whatever. I'm watching that fight and I'm like, there's no way Donald Cerrone's about to get knocked out. Like, even Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman were saying, right? I'm watching it in disbelief, like, he's about to disappoint everybody. There's no way he's gonna do that. Gets knocked out. So, I mean, like, at least with Frankie Edgar, you didn't see it coming. But that means he gotta get the fuck out of here immediately, cause the next one he ain't gonna see coming either. I guarantee you he won't see that one. But if the next one's gonna be even more, well, it probably won't be more brutal, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anything else left on that card?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis. Man, Alex Pereira is the last guy to knock out Israel Adesanya. I think we just give him a title shot right now. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. I mean, what else is there to do? You know, like, sometimes you just gotta shoot people straight to the top. You just gotta do that. You know, it's about matchups, you know? It's about matchups, and I think that's what you gotta do first. You can't be looking at the rankings all the time and who's here, who's what's next. It's like, fuck it, go fight him, make some money. You lose, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You lose, we'll do a trilogy or something. Who knows? So okay. I'm down with that. I'm 100% down with that.
Yeah. But, I kind of want to talk about the one before that card, which was the, UFC 267.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to talk about first, Khamzat Chimaev. Dude.
Yeah.
I think it might be the real thing.
I think so too. Give him whatever he needs to go forward. Give him whatever fight he wants. Like you said, just like the last fight we talked about. Give him whatever fight he wants. It's about matchups. It's not about anything else. Go ahead and make the fights. Cause right now you're running into issues where fuck the rankings. Make the fights. Seriously. You know?
Oh, sure. You need viewers.
Right. And that's why I wasn't mad at Gaethje Chandler first, because I think that did the opposite of what you were saying. I think it pulled people in. But
no. I think it wasn't good for like the pay-per-view. I didn't like it just in general. Cause I wanted to see it later in the card. Cause it was always.
No. That's what, I feel you. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying like, I didn't want that fight to happen between those two now, but I understand why it had to happen. And it can happen, it's gonna happen again. That's the great part about it. Chandler can now start from the bottom. He came in hot, got his title shot, then, you know, lost his fight, but he can still have a path back to the top. You know, That's the great part about it. And that's why people was like, oh, why is Chandler coming in? I'm like, it's Michael Chandler. Shut the fuck up. Like, either you don't watch fighting or you don't know who he is. Either way, you don't watch fighting. You know, that's a trick question. Like, point being is, I am glad they did what they did. And I think that they need to start doing that. Like the last two fights we talked about, Just give those guys what they want. Give them what they need. They did that with Chandler, and that was very successful. Now he can start from the back of the line and have great fights with everybody going all the way back up to the top like we know he'll be anyway. So, yeah, do it with Shaman too. Man, I knew how to say his name a week ago.
I'll show you.
Chimaev.
Yeah, Chimaev, yeah.
Yeah. I literally listened to the broadcast and got it down, and I forgot it like a day later. I was like, damn. But anyway, yes, give him whatever he needs.
Here's the thing, man. Like, Masvidal just got injured, training for his fight against Leon Edwards.
Yes.
Give it to Chimaev. Why not?
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, why not? I don't see a reason why not. And then give Edwards a title shot after that. That's enough games with him, you know? Give him the fucking title shot.
He's gonna lose to Chimaev.
If he loses. I don't know, man. Like, I'll say this. It's all fun and games until you come across somebody super well-rounded and they just win the fight. You know, they don't win it pretty. They just keep you locked down. They just tag you when they need to tag you. Edwards is one of those dudes that's just annoying. He's, Phil, damn, the dude in, Bellator. He's, black dude.
Phil Davis.
Yes, he's Phil Davis. Highly skilled, really good. Not necessarily your champion, but you can't fucking get past him. Like, he'll kill regular people in life easily. Like, he'll kill you, man. You know? And that's Leon Edwards. That's not a bad thing to be unless you want to be champion. Because he doesn't have that championship mentality. But he has the tools to be anything. But he lacks that it factor. So yeah, I don't think Chimaev just destroys Edwards. I really don't. Edwards is like, he could be a trap fight for you too. You know what I mean? Like, cause you'll think, oh man, I got this guy. Nope. You forget how good he is at this, how good he is at that. He's too well-rounded to just think you're gonna straight up beat him. You know? And you better hope he don't go to no motherfucking decision. Cause he's probably not a guy you're gonna knock out, you know?
Okay, so, well, I'll put it to you this way. I completely disagree on the grounds that Edwards has one shot, and that's the puncher's chance in hell. Because the second they clinch up or Chimaev shoots for a takedown, it's over. His wrestling is that high level. The only person that I'm interested in seeing him wrestle with is Usman. That is the only person after this weekend that I'm interested in seeing him wrestle with.
I'm just trying not to look. I don't like Leon Edwards. I don't. I think he's a pussy. Okay. Sorry. I mean, it devolved into that, but like I think he is. You know, you let a dude slap you in the back during an interview and shit. Anyway, however, I don't want to just say, oh, because I feel that way, I'm going to underestimate him. No. Leon Edwards is not somebody who's going to easily get past necessarily. You better take him seriously like it's a fucking championship fight or he's going to end up on his fucking back. Straight up.
All fights start standing. That's why he has a chance.
No, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, even on the ground. I'm sorry. I'm until I see it, I won't agree. But I'll agree the second it happens. Yes, I'll do that. I'll give in immediately when it happens. But I just don't want to I want to give him his due, man. I do believe, and if Edwards beat him,
here's the question I'll pose you. Who is the last great British wrestling savvy fighter ever? You can't name one because there's never been one. They're all stand up. They're kickboxing at best, or they're Tyson fucking Fury. You know what I mean? Like,
if we talking about combat sports, I'm just gonna go with I'm gonna go to pro wrestling, but that's cheating. British Bulldog, I can go there. British Bulldog.
We're not talking about fast wrestling. We're talking about like mixed martial arts.
You know, you in a cage. I mean, just like wrestling's in the ring. I don't want to get into all that what's fake and what's not. Cause last time you get kicked in the face.
My point is, we're not talking about WWE. We're talking about mixed martial arts and like actual combat.
I just had to go to the British wrestler. That's all. You said British wrestler. I was like, British Bulldog.
said wrestling savvy. I was trying to cut you off from.
No, I know.
But
no, you're right. You're 1,000,000% right. You're 1,000,000% right. It hasn't.
But that's the thing that was like, there is none. There's good British fighters, but they're all stand-up fighters. There's like Leon Edwards is British. Like he sounds British. He's from that area. Like he is that. He doesn't have wrestling. I couldn't take him down. He would take me down. He'd beat me in wrestling, but he's not beating Khamzat Chimaev. He's not beating him if he gets taken to the ground. Not even a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not happening.
Because GSP, listen, we would never say that about GSP now, but he lost to Matt Hughes. He lost to him.
That was wrestling. Dude. Wow. Sorry, I'm watching the Baeza versus Chaos Williams fight. Baez, not Baeza. Maybe no, it's Baeza. Yeah,
it's whatever.
It's Baeza. Yeah, I'm looking at the name. Sorry. Yeah, he just got knocked the fuck out by Chaos Williams in the second or third round.
What is this on?
It's ESPN Plus. It's one of the fight nights.
I don't have that.
Yeah, that's dude. It's worth getting because you get fights like this. Yep, Chaos Williams.
It's on. Wait. That's the Max Holloway is on now.
Yeah, Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez.
They started.
Fight, I think.
I knew they started it early. Really pisses me off. Okay, I guess I'm on my way to do that right now. Continue, please.
With the Chimaev thing. Okay, so the thing is Leon Edwards, good fighter. It would be fun to watch him and Usman slug it out, although he would absolutely in every way, shape, and form, whether it stayed standing or went to the ground, lose to Kamaru Usman. The thing is Khamzat Chimaev, we don't really know what his stand-up is. He has knocked people out in the UFC, but he's also fucking just destroyed. And not like he's been better than, just like, notice it. No, it is like almost watching two different levels every time he's fought anyone.
You're right.
And the thing is the only other person that you can say that about is Kamaru Usman. So like, yeah, like, would it make sense for, if Jorge Masvidal is injured, to do Chimaev, because he didn't even get punched. I mean, he didn't even get hit. Like, his fight was quick and it was dirty and it was over. And I think that would be the perfect person because he's already got a name from across seas. He's starting to get one here in America. Put him on that card, man. Give him Leon Edwards. He's not going to turn it down. Like, come on.
Leon Edwards,
like, well, if Leon Edwards turns it down, then I will never watch a fight that he is a part of ever again.
He do shit like that. He wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, because he's not championship.
He's a pussy. Say the word.
You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee, like, if this could happen, it wouldn't happen. It would never happen. I doubt it. Especially since the Covington Usman fight was so recent. But like, let's say Masvidal gets injured, he's out. Then Chimaev steps in. Now Edwards is out, and then Usman's like, "I'll take that fight." Like, that would be cool.
Yeah,
well, that's not gonna happen.
That's not impossible. It's not.
Well, it is because Usman, I think, because he went 5 rounds with Covington like he did, he's definitely on medical suspension for at least.
Oh yeah. But like, other than that, yeah, like it's shit like that is crazy, especially with the COVID protocol. Like, they don't even have to be injured. Somebody can just get COVID and change the whole fucking card. So, I mean, we just can't throw shit out of possibility. That's why I'm saying, like, Michael Chandler is going to be back at the top regardless, cause he just needs to hang around. Somebody gets COVID, boom, he's in there. Another title shot out of nowhere. It's a long road back to it for him. But anyway, who else was on 267? I know we're going back a little bit, especially while
there's a couple. That was the Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker, Piotr Yang versus Sandhagen. I'm going to want to talk about that. And that's where Teixeira beat Blachowicz.
Yes. And Jan Blachowicz didn't look good at all. Like,
no,
he looked horrible, like physically too. He definitely wasn't himself. That's not an excuse.
Dude, he did not like the guy that just took it to Israel Adesanya, what was it, a matter of a couple months ago or whatever? Like, that did not, like, Glover Teixeira fought the same fight that he's fought every fight for the last 17 years, and he just happened to win in the championship. I don't think it was any better or any worse than we've ever seen him. I think it's just highlighted by the fact that he's
you're right.
times and never won. But Blachowicz, that was shocking, bro.
He looked like shit, and I didn't know why. I don't even care why. And I'm not, usually I get mad, I get pissed. I think you should be damn near thrown out of the sport. But it's just so, we don't know what the hell happened that I'm like, well, we'll find out, I guess. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless about it. Like, why? We don't know why he looked like that. I don't think he knows. Maybe he does. I don't know. Like,
right.
What happened, dude? You know?
That's like the type of performance that you're not shocked if, like, X-rays come out to where he was fighting on a broken leg that was, like, broken in half somehow. Or, like, he comes out and he has, like, fucking, like, you know, God forbid he has, like, cancer or something. You're like, oh, okay, well, I can see he was just going out there trying to die on his shield. And it was like, bro, like, you were so far behind just the possibility that you could even have cancer and not be able to fucking fight very well. Crossed my mind. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
No, you're right. That's what's crazy. But like, literally anything could have been wrong with him. Maybe he was probed by aliens the day before. I mean, I don't fucking know.
Right? Like, he had like the worst night of his life. He got abducted by aliens. He had to undergo an exorcism and shit. Like, it just man. You know, you're just like, I'm just a little exhausted, but I got to do this fight. You know.
But I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things. Can't take anything away from Glover, the champ, and that's dope.
No, and I really like seeing the fact that he finally got a belt. It's kind of like when like an old quarterback or like an old baseball player or maybe like an older like an older basketball player like end up winning a championship and they're like, oh, Tim Duncan won a championship finally. He can retire and fucking leave us alone. You know, like John Elway, his last he put up 2 Super Bowls and they're like, hey, you want to retire yet? You're like 40. Like, you know.
It's like, sure, I'll get the fuck out of here. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, hey, thanks, Glover. You're not going to win your next fight because it's probably going to have to be against somebody good or at least Blachowicz again. So, and I don't think Blachowicz loses that fight a second time unless, you know, he has fucking cancer. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he does. That's the problem. Sometimes people lose.
He comes healthy. He's not going to lose the next fight. That's how little respect I have for Glover Teixeira, apparently.
I mean, it's easy to say that shit until, you know, motherfuckers get knocked out. Like, Glover might just knock him the fuck out.
He might, but he probably won't. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
I think after beating Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz got a little high and mighty and didn't train as hard as he usually does. And I think Glover Teixeira came out at the same level he's been for the last 15,000 years. And he just got the better of him. He's experienced. He has a good routine. He knows what he wants. He knew what he had to do to get it. And now he's got it, you know, so like, you know, it's validation. So yeah, the rematch might be hard, but I still think if Blachowicz really wants it, it's not even going to be close because this fight should not have even been close in my opinion. You know, especially after what we saw against Adesanya.
You're absolutely right about that. I understand that. I'm down with that too. I'm just saying, you know, like I'm not for whatever reason, and I love to do this. I'm not underestimating or putting shit past him. You know, like if you made it there, I think that, you know, you have a decent chance of winning. And that's not going to be the case every time. But you know, I just think that it's, I think that's just fair to give these fighters the credit that they're due. Now listen, I'm finna shit on somebody, okay? And let me, I need to balance this out because I'm being nice and fair and impartial. So let me be a little unfair. What's her name? Harrison? Is that her name? That new fighter in PFL that thinks she's great, is all over the place.
Yeah, Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. She doesn't have a chance in hell of beating anybody on any real platform at all. I can't wait till the day she steps in there and she's fucking destroyed. She thinks she's Ronda Rousey. She fails to realize what Ronda Rousey's actual shortcomings were. which was not shutting the fuck up. It was really just talking that shit. That's what it was. Sure, she was the best on top, but nobody figured out her game. Kayla Harrison is bringing nothing new to the table, and she's going to get absolutely wrecked when somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing comes across her.
Dude, honestly, Rousey, you're absolutely right. The thing is she actually might be closer to Ronda Rousey, what she ended up being, than, you know, like, I think the analogy sort of style you're trying to use, like, honestly, I think she is Ronda Rousey, and that's the problem. She has a lot of talk. She can get viewers. She can fuck some lower level people up. But she's never going to step in there against Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, fucking Rose Namajunas even, and they're like, you know, 50 pounds apart almost. And it's like, you're never going to step in against somebody who's a professional and going to get the job done and just win. You know, like, you got to put some work in. And I'm not saying she hasn't put in more work than, you know, you or me, but I am saying she absolutely is not on the same work level as an Amanda Nunes or a Valentina Shevchenko.
And she needs to hear this. I love, and listen, I'm taking it. The reason I brought this up, because she's becoming a big deal. She is. And this is where this ties into a lot of the UFC stuff too, cause like, we just talked about, Rose Namajunas and how I was disappointed that, you know, there was nothing new for her. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk is somebody who, or JJ, we're just gonna call her JJ. Yeah. That's somebody who has been thrown around quite a bit. You know, they've been throwing that name out there quite a bit because they, you know, people are like, where is she? What's she been doing? And she's starting to speak up, and Dana White's like, no, you had enough title shots. And I get it. At the same time, we need to see her. And she's like, I want more money. Then go to PFL, you know, where Kayla Harrison's making $1 million for beating up cans. You know, you go there and you'll reign supreme until you feel like quitting. You'll feel like, retiring from the sport altogether. And Kayla Harrison, you see her, she was at one of these events. I think it was the last one, 268. And, I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, no, it's great that she's getting recognition, because think about it. That's ESPN's league, and her name's out there. Well, like, we're talking about her. That's great. Just like Conor McGregor was getting his name out there. And I'm all about people getting their name out there. Here's the problem with it. Like you said, you think she is Ronda Rousey. I think she is too. And the problem with that is that those, you know, like, her lack of skill is going to come back, you know, and then what's going to happen? You know, like, Ronda Rousey couldn't take it when she lost. What's going to happen when this lady loses? You know what I mean? Like, it's all fun and games until we put people on the stage they want to be on and the lights are too bright. And I don't think she's humble enough to get any of that. You know, so that was a little bit of a side note, but it tied in. But you can wrap that up any way you want to.
Well, honestly, man, like, there's a fight that I'm watching right now with at least one of these ladies that would beat Kayla Harrison, and it's the Felicia Spencer versus Leia Letson fight. And Felicia Spencer would fuck Kayla Harrison up, dude. Kayla Harrison is super one-dimensional. She's predictable. She's slow, in my opinion. And honestly, like, if she was to come to the UFC, I think it would be a very, very money-heavy fight, to where, like, you know, no matter what happened to her, she's getting, like, a certain high set amount, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's all she has is her name. She doesn't have anything. She's beaten nobody. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not like we're looking at, like, Chimaev, who dominates people in the UFC. Like, Harrison's not even in the UFC. She's in the PFL. There's been, like, one good fighter that's ever come from the PFL that I can remember, and it's, was it Justin Gaethje? Like,
you're right.
You know, like, and I mean, like, there you go. You're one in a million right there. So, I don't know. People leave the UFC to go make more money at PFL. That doesn't mean that they're fighting at a higher level. That's what people don't understand. They're like, UFC doesn't pay their fighters. Yeah, well, UFC is Safeway, and all these other fight promotions are everyone else. Like, you know,
you're right.
Top grocery stores and, you know, Save Marts and shit that you have to deal with. Like, the UFC is the top level, man. it is the cream of the crop. Not necessarily like every single fighter is better than every fighter's other promotion, but the levels are higher. The competition, there's a clear difference when like, if you're down at the bottom rungs and you're destroying people, they're going to give you a fight that's going to test you. Like, there's a local guy named, Benito Lopez who, good fighter, great local fighter. I mean, just fucking, took it to a lot of people, King of the Cage or whatever. And then he went and trained at Alpha Male. So there's a lot of hype coming out of him. He was like a bantamweight, I think. And then he went and fought Ricky Simon in one of his first fights in the UFC after got on a Contender Series and won or whatever. Well, he goes and fights Ricky Simon. Dude, Ricky Simon is a dog. Like, that was not a fun fight for Benito Lopez. Like, you can even see in their body structures. Like, Lopez, he kind of has like a TIE fighter build, but like not as like dense packed, I guess. He looked like soft. He looked small. He looked frail. And I'm saying that like he would kill me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he wouldn't kill Ricky Simon because he didn't. Like. And you see what Ricky Simon's still doing. Ricky Simon's still fighting in the UFC. So like, there's just levels to this shit. Like, yeah, people get in on their names and their merits, but when you have to actually fight something like, think of CM Punk, the most overly hyped fight ever was CM Punk making a debut against Mickey Gall. And Mickey Gall showed the world that this was not worth the 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks that whoever paid for whatever card. Like, there's levels.
I really I wish, right. And Mickey Gall's on a level that's just like, I thought after beating, Super Sage, he was going to be, doing something, and then nothing. I really thought that was going to propel him to something good, but nah, pretty disappointed in his career, especially like, I used to love CM Punk. Now, like you say, he's garbage. He's a liar. Hey, CM Punk, if you ever hear this, you're a liar, man. And you're disgusting too. You said that you didn't want to return to pro wrestling doing silly bullshit, and nobody gives a fuck what you're doing. I wish you were still getting your ass kicked in the UFC, because at least the whole world could see you getting your ass kicked instead of just 500,000 people on that shitty wrestling program. Anyway, had to get that off my chest. Fuck
yeah.
Don't say that's like, okay, so here's my thing. Like, I just talked about Joanna going to JJ going to PFL to get money, right? If you're about money, go get your money. Kayla Harrison is being discussed right now as a big deal because she's just loud and making a lot of noise, okay? And that's great because it's getting eyes on PFL and her, which is what it's meant to do. I find her obnoxious and stupid, but that's even great too, because the more press she gets, the better, whether it be good or bad. Point being, if you about what you say you're about, leave the UFC, JJ, and go to ESPN and be rich and be somebody. Go get your piece of the pie. Go get, all that other goofy shit she said. Go do it. Stop being scared and say, I want to stay in the UFC. I get what you're saying, like, when you say they were Save Mart and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, I get that they're Save Mart, but you can have a really good job at Save Mart. If you're manager of Save Mart, you're making good money, right?
that is true. Yes, that is
right. Right. If you say, hey, look, man, Save Mart's by the house. Look, it's not the biggest dog in the yard, but Save Mart is right down the street from my house. I can walk to work. I got flexible hours because I run the whole place, and I got great employees, and I get paid more than what I would somewhere else at the top dog. So yeah, get your ass in there and go to Save Mart and make your fucking money. But don't be like, oh, I'm not going to leave. No, you want notoriety and fame, but you don't really want to work for it. You want UFC to do all the work. And Kayla Harrison is not letting PFL do all the work, because what kind of work can they do? That's where I respect her. That's where I'm like, hey, people of note need to follow her lead. I mean, a couple people already tried to do it. Anthony Pettis, he lost.
Right.
God, that dude's forever on the bum couch. He had that one.
No,
he had that one.
Just that'll be a veto on my part. I'm not gonna put Anthony Pettis on the bum couch. He's done enough cool.
He got knocked out. He got knocked out in PFL. Well, knocked out, but whatever. He lost in PFL in his debut.
Yeah, well, he should have retired like 7 years ago.
Well, he didn't. So he's on the fucking bum couch until he retires. Okay, how about this? He's bum couch adjacent. We need something different than a bum couch for people to like, hey man, one more thing, and if he loses again, can he be on the bum couch at least?
No, we're not gonna. No, the bum couch is for actual bums, not just people that lose fights.
He's been a bum for a long time.
He's
like you said, like 7 years ago.
Talk shit. He does cool things like the Showtime kick. Like, come on, it's not that bad.
You say he does cool stuff. You mean that shit he did 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So he's not an asshole. It's not like he's always talking shit about people and getting his ass kicked. No, he's a pretty humble guy. He just lost a couple fights. Like,
it's a couple? You mean the last 10 years worth of fights?
The last, 15, 20, 30 years of fights. Yeah, whatever. Like,
just say you like him, man, and you don't want him on the bum couch. He definitely deserves to be.
He's not a bum. He can be on the needs to retire couch. How about that? That's the one bum adjacent.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's kind of fucked up. He literally fits the definition of a bum. Like, guess who got off? Remember, what's his name got off of the bum couch as we made the bum couch? It's kind of ironic. Yeah. We made the bum couch
Cody for. Doesn't need to retire.
He might need to, so.
Oh, do you know who the new king of the bum couch is, even though he was already on the bum couch? Aljamain Sterling. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him. Yeah. Fuck him. Stupid. Oh, yeah. I hate him.
It's really crazy, man. I don't understand why I understand if you're gonna take the belt, take the belt. If not, like, just leave it. Like, he acted like he wanted to leave it. Leave it then. I wouldn't have felt happy about it. I just actually wouldn't have faked it and just got my ass whooped and lost that decision. Like, that's what I would have done.
He's getting neck surgery. He's getting neck surgery. He's trying to get back to like what he thinks is 100%. But it's like, bro, you don't understand, man. Like, we saw that fight. Even you at 100%, you're still fucking 30%, less than Petr Yan. Like,
Yan, man, the last fight he had was better than the fight that he had.
Yeah, Jan Sandhagen. Oh, that was such a good fight. Jan Sandhagen, man, that's a good fight. Like, I think that with the Gaethje thing, like, there's gonna be a lot of tough candidates for fight of the year, man.
Yeah, no, it was a really good fights. Knockout of the year, yeah. I mean, I think that's Frankie Edgar. I saw what happened to his face. They freeze framed it. It wasn't even a freeze frame. It was a picture where his face was just, oh God.
Well, I have to see all the other knockout candidates, but I mean, yeah, you can put that in there. I wouldn't say, I didn't think knockout of the year when I saw it. I just thought that was super sad to watch an old man get knocked out.
He looked, oh my God, his face. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, there's a lot of knockouts. Somebody else got knocked, Stipe. Oof.
Stipe, yeah. Who knocked out Stipe?
Ngannou.
Yeah, sorry, I thought he had other. Yeah, Ngannou. Yeah, that might be another one. I don't know. There's going to be a couple. That Alex Pereira.
Usman versus Masvidal. Man, he knocked the sweat off like it was a fucking.
Yeah, he fucking
70s fight.
I bet if you stop that like frame at the right time, Masvidal's sweat would like be the same shape as his face in a profile. Like it's just like a freeze frame of like double, like almost like you knocked out his soul. Like
hey, so check this out. Why the hell is Letson even in this fight?
I don't know, dude. Spencer is just taking it to her. It's not even close.
I tried not to shit on her, but I put this as one of the 3 fights to watch. And the reason I picked this one is because I wanted to see what Felicia Spencer was going to do. I want to see if she was where she needed to be. I need her to finish this girl. I need her to beat the shit out of her. I need her to beat her to death right now. And if that might sound harsh to people, I hate when the purists come at me and go, oh man, how could you say death and stuff like they're fighting. I want one of them to die. What is wrong with you? Like that in the back of my mind, we are rooting for someone to be killed. Stop it. Like, stop acting like you're better than me because you,
Ledson's taking so many elbows and so many takedowns. She's utterly touched up right now.
Yeah, like, I don't want her to actually die, but I want to look like she's about to die, right?
You see that? In the first round, Felicia Spencer threw 92 strikes. In the second round, she's already got 50, or she's around 55. And just like, or I guess total strikes landed or whatever that, like, she's already upwards of like 150 or about 150 strikes in, you know, a 3-round fight. Like, dude, she is putting volume on this girl right now.
Yeah, and this is this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see her get, vicious and just come in there and work, you know, cause, she went the distance, you know, with one of the greats. So, that's where I want to see her get back to. Amanda Nunes, I feel like she's going to retire at some point. Like, I mean, of course she is, but like, some point soon. I don't see next year. I see next year being the last year she fights. If you're her, if you're her, I don't see what else you do. I think Valentina's probably got maybe 2 left in her. She wants to be around after, she just wants to let it be her by herself for a while. So I think after Amanda Nunes is gone, she'll, I don't know, just take all the belts. Like, who's going to stop her?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, like, if she can't beat Nunes to take that, you know, belt above her own, then at the very least, like, if Nunes retires while Valentina's still active, she'll have a legitimate chance to take every belt, you know, cause she's gonna she needs to fight Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas said something about fighting Carla Esparza. And that, to me, if that happens, I will not order that card.
No, she needs to fight her. That's just, listen, she needs to.
No.
I know I was talking shit about the fights to make.
Stop giving Carla Esparza title shots. She doesn't need them. She's not going to do anything with them. This isn't Glover Teixeira. We need to stop giving Carla Esparza title shots.
How many has she had?
It doesn't matter. She won the first. No, she won the first, I think, strawweight one ever against Rose Namajunas, like 50,000 years ago, and she hasn't done anything since.
She's been winning since. She's been winning since. Listen, she's Leon Edwards.
No, Leon Edwards is better than Carla Esparza.
I know that. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying.
She is a relic.
She's annoying. Like Phil Davis sticks around, but you just can't throw this person out. You can't. That's why they're annoying. But I ain't gonna lie, man. She fought herself back to a title shot. I don't give a fuck if she wins or loses. She earned it. Give it to her. Let her lose. This fight's over. No, come on. Would you punch her harder than that?
We have better fights to make for Rose Namajunas. I'd rather watch a third fight with Zhang Weili than I would Carla Esparza Namajunas too.
That's too bad, man. We watch a lot of shit Amanda Nunes fights, right? I'm gonna be honest. And not just being honest. I'm gonna harken back into something I said about Amanda Nunes when she fought not about Amanda Nunes, but about, who's your favorite fighter? Holly Holm. Holly Holm didn't deserve a fucking title fight. She didn't deserve a title fight ever again in her life. Yeah. That's somebody who needs to go to PFL. She needs to go to PFL and kick Kayla Harrison's ass. That's what she needs to go.
You're absolutely right. She shouldn't have fought Nunes that last time, and it just, she paid for it. You know who's also paying for shit right now? Leia Ledson is just getting destroyed.
Yeah, this is
even took Spencer down, which surprised me, and then Spencer grappled her way to on top and is just landing everything.
Can Felicia Spencer put something in her hand? Like, can she put some weight or something? Can she hit harder than this? Because if she could just hit her, goddamn, okay, well, yeah, hit her like that. Punch with your elbow.
This is why she probably couldn't beat Amanda Nunes, because she doesn't have the power to end fights. She can just do a lot of damage and hold control.
Yeah, you gotta block somebody.
That sounded trivial, but honestly, like, she's so good that she is honestly like maybe the second or third best female fighter in the UFC. Sorry, third best female fighter in the UFC, and that's because she weighs more than Rose Namajunas, and I think she would beat Rose Namajunas. She won't beat Shevchenko, she wouldn't beat Nunes, or couldn't beat Nunes. Like, I really think
she went the distance though. But she went the distance. Not a lot of people even make it the distance. People don't even make it out the first round. Like, Cyborg didn't make, you know what I'm saying? Like, she got her shit caved in. So, that's, look, here's my point, man. Let Carla Esparza fight, because you let Holly Holm did. By the way, where the fuck Holly Holm is, go to PFL, where I can love and respect you. Okay? I mean, I respect you as an athlete. Let's get that across the board. Here at Sporticus, we respect all athletes. Always, okay? Sure, some of them are bums. We still respect these bums. Okay? We created the bum couch, and immediately your boy got up off the bum couch. And you won't let me put Anthony Pettis on it. That's fucked up. But anyway.
No, I'm gonna override you sometimes. It's okay.
That's fucked up. I mean, you get one though. It's Anthony Pettis. You can't override me another time. Like,
I get one per episode.
I get one, you get one. That's fine. I'm perfectly okay. I like checks and balances. But no, let Carla Esparza get a shot, please, and then let's be done with it.
Oh yeah, they stopped it.
They should have.
Good. Hey, there's that finish you wanted.
That shit was gross, man.
Dude, she got.
You know what? Alicia probably needs to actually drop a ton of weight and get shredded. And retain the power in her hands. That's probably what she needs to do.
Look at her legs, man. She's got tree trunks. She can't lose that kind of weight. That's all muscle.
No, I know. What I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out a way to get her, stronger, you know, like, she needs power in her hands, not in her legs. Well, you know, when she's kneeing people in the face like that, she can keep it in her legs, maybe. But no, anyway.
We're taking a little bit from Leia Letson, man. She took a beat down for 3 rounds before. That was 30 seconds until the fucking round was over, like.
The whole time. I mean, that's too bad. I mean, you know, we're not, like I said, we in the business of respecting athletes, but calling them out on that shit. She didn't do nothing. So.
No, she took a beat down. That's what she did.
Took a nasty. Who else was on what? 267? I think we went through 267. Was there anything else on there?
Yeah, I mean, there's the Makhachev versus Hooker fight, but Makhachev, like, he's another Khabib type, so whatever. We'll just keep watching him. I mean, he's supposed to be really good. Khabib says he might even be better than he was, but, like, I mean, he's just hyping up his boy, so there's nothing really else. Like, I mean, there's Volkov versus Tybura, but that's still not all that exciting. Like,
right.
I mean, there's Magomed Ankalaev, who actually might be an interesting light heavyweight to watch. He just beat Volkan Ozdemir, but nothing to really like talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I was looking at that fight though. If I'm not mistaken, that was a fight to watch too. That's something that I wrote about. I don't like to pick the big fights because, well, why? You know, of course, watch the 3 title fights. No shit. Of course I'm watching those. I like to pick the fights that, you wouldn't really think to watch. You know, like I almost picked Frankie Edgar, but I was like, why the fuck would you watch that fight? Well, you know, I'm glad I didn't pick that one because I was like, where's Frankie Edgar gonna go? His career is over. He's done. Let's talk about, since we're about to watch this fight right now, what chance does, Yair Rodriguez have against Max Holloway?
After watching the Jair Rodriguez versus Korean Zombie fight like a couple years ago, and seeing that the Zombie was in control of, in my opinion, every round all up until Yair Rodriguez uncorked this weird elbow and just got him.
He baited him into it, and the Zombie was goofy for even going for it. He hit it for it.
It's hard for me to agree on the word baiting on that, because from what I remember seeing and, like, you know, the highlights since, and I've rewatched the fight once or twice, like, dude, it wasn't.
It was a lucky shot.
That was you know what it was? It was an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary against the Cowboys.
He shouldn't have fell for it. You know, that's too bad. I love the Korean Zombie. Can't believe he fell for that bullshit. He's like, come on. come on. And he fucking got, I was like, why would you go? Why would you go forward? Just stay where you are for 2 seconds and say, no, I'm not going to do that. And then, you win the fight.
Well, you didn't win the entire fight. Like, you didn't, I mean, a weird back up elbow, like, oh man, like, that, from then on, I just don't count Yair Rodriguez out of fights. So, I mean, Max Holloway is going to have to be Max Holloway to beat him, but damn, if Holloway gets knocked out tonight for the, first time ever in his career, bro, I won't be surprised.
I'm giving Rodriguez a fighting chance. I did. A lot of people, I believe Max Holloway is going to win. I think he's a level above everyone right now. Including, well, I won't go into that, including the champ, but.
Yeah, we don't got that kind of time.
But at the same time, they haven't fought a third time, so I won't know until they fight a third time, and, if he loses here, they're not. He has to go unbeaten for like 8 years. You know how Dana White is. He's got to go unbeaten for quite a while. I mean, we were just talking about Carla Esparza. So, you can't just lose a fight and think you're going to get back to, a title fight, so Max has to be pretty clean. He kind of has to do a lot of work on Rodriguez. Like he has to beat him pretty clearly, pretty soundly, because it's going to be a good test, for both. Well, maybe not for Max Holloway, but it's definitely going to be a test for, Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez was a lot of flash. I think he's just really difficult to put away, like extremely. And that's going to be a problem for Max, because, Max likes to keep coming at you. Anyway, I think he's going to beat the hell out of him. I hope he beats the hell out of him. Let's look forward to the card after this. 269.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one, man. I really, really want, there was 2 cards that I said I was going to buy. I was going to buy the Usman Covington, and then I was going to buy Poirier Oliveira. And, oh man, I am so excited for this whole card. Look at the prelim fight, man. Just the prelim fight alone. You're going to have Dominic Cruz versus Pedro Munoz and Josh Emmett versus Dan Ige. Oh, dude, you can just take my money. Just take it all right now.
I'm looking for the card right now. I don't know why I can't find it. I don't care.
You're having trouble? Here, I'll read off.
Go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I'm glad this is ending off the year for the pay-per-views. So the early prelims, check this out. There's a fight that's to be announced. It's a women's flyweight fight. But then it starts off Randy Costa versus Tony Kelly, which I don't really know either of them. But then it goes to Ryan Hall versus Derek Minner. And I'll watch Ryan Hall fight just because of how good he is at jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Yeah. And then you have Alex Perez versus Matthew Christopher Chanel, which I don't know either of them, but that sounds exciting just by the one guy's name.
Barber's out of that next fight, by the way.
Yeah. Out of it already? What happened?
Yeah. It was either COVID or a injury. Who the fuck is Aaron Blanchfield anyway? Let's look this person up.
It doesn't matter. I'm excited because Macy Barber is fighting.
Probably giving her a can. She looks like a fucking can. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
She's 6'1", but she could be a can at 6.
I'm no longer excited about that fight. But then the one after that is Andre Muniz versus Dricus du Plessis. Dude, I like Dricus du Plessis. He's fun to watch. He actually has a pretty funny personality. He got on the mic in his last fight. He was like, "For everyone who is wondering, it is pronounced du Plessis." And I've tried not to forget it since. But then move to the fucking preliminary card. You got Bruno Silva, Jordan Wright to start it off, and then you have Dom Cruz versus Pedro Munoz. Then Dan Ige versus Josh Emmett. That right there is you could make an entire fight night with those 3 fights right there. Then you move to the main card, which Sean O'Malley gets to fight a guy.
What happened to your phone? Wait, what happened to your mic? What the fuck is happening to your mic?
What do you mean?
Something happened to your mic. It's awful now.
Okay, what's the last thing you heard?
Okay, that's good. No, I can hear you. It's just put something over it for whatever reason. No, go ahead. No. So Sean O'Malley. Oh God.
Okay, dude, he's gonna be fighting a guy named I don't know how to say it properly, but it's like Raulian Paiva.
Bum.
Dude, no,
I know Paiva. I
watched his last fight. Not a bum. I think he could beat O'Malley. I think he's gonna be one of those guys that like when they gave O'Malley Cheeto Vera, and they're like, yeah, this might be a good fight.
I was fucking around. I actually know who Paiva is. I was fucking around.
Okay.
The reason I was saying that is because he's not a name really. They're going to continue to not give him names, and I get that.
Yeah, same thing when they gave him Cheeto Vera. They're like, well, yeah, people know Cheeto Vera, but like not a lot of people actually really know who he is.
Right.
But then he beat the shit out of O'Malley and gave him his, his blemish on his record, and it's like
Paiva's even less known. Paiva is even less known to him. That's what I'm saying.
For sure. But then we have Kai Kara France versus your new best friend, Cody Garbrandt.
Mr. Get Off the Bum Couch. So,
he's the first one off the bum couch. I think he's the only one, too.
That nigga's making history.
he was the first one on the bum couch. He was also the only one
first one off. Simultaneously off. The bum couch consisted of just him. It was just his couch in his house.
There was a long time. Yeah, it was a long time where he was the only member of the bum couch. Like,
yeah. And now he's he's disassociated with it. Like,
yeah, no. Like, you got mad I remember one of our last podcasts, you actually got mad. You're like, no, Cody Garbrandt is not a bum anymore. Like,
he's not. He got up off his ass and put actions to his words. And if I don't know if he wins this fight, but I'm really interested in it. It's definitely one of my 3 fights to watch, on that card.
Here's what I'll say. Kai Kara France comes from a good camp right now. He's in the Volkanovski, Izzy Adesanya area. Like, he's coming from a good camp. But Garbrandt has always had a power edge in anyone he's faced. No matter if he's lost to him or won, he's always had a power edge.
I remember he knocked Dominic Cruz down, and Dominic Cruz got up immediately because he knew what was going to happen if he had stayed down a second too long. But loved that Cody Garbrandt didn't even rush him. He was like, nah, because if I go towards you, I'm going to lose. Like, he was like, at any time you're running the fight, you're pushing the pace, I'm going to lose the fight. And he just didn't let that happen. Will Cody Garbrandt use his wrestling is what I want to know. Because when he uses his wrestling and he's not one-dimensional, there's no way you can really stop him from punching you in your face. Right?
I don't think Kai Kara France is a stylistic matchup that's going to test his wrestling. I think it could go to the ground. They could grapple for a while, but Garbrandt's just going to take it back standing, and then that's where the actual fight is standing. Because Kai Kara France is tough.
Ben Rothwell is going to get knocked the fuck out. I am predicting this. Someone's going down. I believe Ben Rothwell is going to lose his life in front of us.
Well, he's on his, 900th fight?
This is his 40th, I believe. Not 40th, but this would be his 40th win, I think. Something like that. Something crazy.
No, it'd probably like,
or 30?
It'll show the record right here in a sec.
I think this is like his 39. He's got 39.
No, he is like 55th fight or 54th fight.
Yeah, I was right. This is his 39th. This could be his 40th win.
You know, it's funny, really quick. Just in light of the, happenings in the world or in the country right now, Ben Rothwell, I just noticed, is fighting out of Kenosha. Yeah.
I knew what you was about to say. Yeah.
I was just like, maybe you could have just said fighting out of whatever fight camp. Like,
he's I got a buddy from Kenosha too, with all that, with the trial and stuff going on. Just kind of crazy over there. Wow. It's kind of crazy that place had it because it's a very nothing place. And, he's like, yeah, man, they ride in here. I was like, that's nuts. I was like, why in Kenosha? Like, he used to drive up to Chicago, take the train to Chicago all the time.
Ooh, got him. Oh, he's in trouble. He's done. Oh, let's go.
Didn't I tell you?
Oh, let's go. Oh.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? This shit,
wow.
that was sloppy gross. Didn't I tell you, man?
I was just about to say Ben Roethlisberger looks like he lost some weight, came in shape, but he might have lost.
To say any of that shit. Don't even try.
I was gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say it anymore.
Hey. I look, when I'm being an analyst and not betting on stuff, I know exactly what's gonna happen. I was like, man, he's gonna come in and knock him the fuck out. Like,
dude, he fucked his leg up. I know he probably did something to his leg with the first two kicks.
Yeah, I felt like it was that second one, but he touched his chin, man. He touched his chin.
He hit him a lot too. Yeah, no getting me wrong.
You know, he touched his chin like it was before he even went back to the gate. He caught one. He could caught a little one, and that kind of opened it up. And he's sloppy. He's super sloppy. Anyway, yeah. So we missed. It was like 2 fights on there. Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. I hope she destroys her as usual. I don't. We want to talk about people and title shots. I really don't know how Juliana Pena got here.
No, neither do I.
Like, what the fuck? I mean, how did she? Megan Anderson have been where she was, but like,
is the women's bantamweight division that thin to where they have to give Juliana Pena a fucking title shot because she won her last fight or something? Like, I don't even know what she did to get this fight.
Shit too, and it's gross. I don't even know if Amanda Nunes is still alive. I don't know I haven't heard a peep from her. But Juliana Pena, oh, you're gonna see this and that. Like, man, don't talk to me. You know, like, I told you I was gonna shock the world, whatever. Like, you didn't tell me shit. I believe it when I see it, Juliana Pena. You won't be the one.
I wouldn't be talking about shocking the world yet, but you know what I mean? Like, come on. She's got 10 more wins than you do in your fucking career.
She's, I don't know. Maybe she's a dope.
And the same amount of losses. So, like, I don't mean.
That sounds like you can talk to me. Like, I was like, yeah. I've heard crackheads talk.
The most important fight on that card, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. Wow. Talk about a fight.
Sleep on.
Talk about a fight that I would have liked to have seen the Gaethje Chandler fight card, I would like to have seen the Gaethje Chandler fight card on this fight card with these two. That way you would know who's fighting who next. But now it's going to be Justin Gaethje versus the winner of this fight, and that's fine. But like, goddamn, dude, I'm so torn because I've been Charles Oliveira's biggest champion. I've been saying it for over a year, like he was going to be champion, and then he was champion. And now we're here with Dustin Poirier, who's like, if you bet against Dustin Poirier, you're likely to lose money. And I don't want to bet against him, but like, I have to stick with my boy Charles.
You do. And you know what? Poirier, like, you know, he lost to Conor McGregor. He lost to, Khabib. I mean, he can lose, you know, so can Charles Oliveira, but like, I don't see him losing to those two people, to be honest to you. And I see Dustin Poirier possibly hitting him hard, but I don't think there's a way he knocks him out. I mean, the way, I almost said Tyson Chandler, the way, Michael Chandler touched Oliveira woke him up.
Yeah.
Because he was about to lose that fight.
Well, I'll tell you this.
He recovered like a master.
Charles Oliveira might be hit cleaner by Dustin Poirier, but he's not going to be hit harder.
No. I think that's false. I think he's going to get hit harder by Poirier and less clean.
Yeah, I think Michael Chandler has some of the most power in the UFC. He just doesn't hit people cleanly.
And yeah, it's mostly the way he fights. And I think he hit, when he hit Oliveira pretty clean, you know, that kind of, I was like, oh my God, like he got him. He just straight up got him. I don't think that Poirier is going to pile it on the way he's going to need to against Oliveira. In fact, I think if he's going to come out there trying to kind of get a feel for him instead of just fighting. And I think that is the wrong thing to do against Charles Oliveira. I think you got to start off hot like Michael Chandler did to have a chance. Because how do you see this? What's the keys to victory for Oliveira for you?
The key for victory, for me, for Charles Oliveira, comes down to two sort of branches off of a victory tree. And that first branch is either, because it's either going to be one or the other. It's going to be one of those things where he realizes that maybe Dustin Poirier has a little bit too much, technical prowess on the feet. And not that Oliveira doesn't, but like, it just might not be something he wants to test. And, he gets it to the ground and he submits him. Dustin Poirier, no way he hangs Charles Oliveira on the ground. No way. And I said the same thing about Chandler, but at the same time, they're different body types. Like, Michael Chandler is built to be compact. Like, he's very strong. He's actually pretty short for the weight class, but he is a fucking brick house rock of a human being.
Yeah, that's the problem people have fighting him. Like, just like with Pitbull. That's why McKee beat him. That's not the only reason, but like, reason Pitbull lost is because that size advantage actually caught up to him. Chandler and Pitbull have the size advantage because it's harder to hit them because they're shorter. Like, you don't know where that punch is coming from. It's always kind of riding under your eye line. You know what I mean? Like, his hands aren't where you can see them. So when he hits you with one, it's full extension underneath your chin and you're done. That's how Michael Chandler rocks people. That's how Gaethje's got rocked. He had no idea it was a fully extended punch underneath his chin,
Yeah,
and then
you could see the shock in his face when he was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
But he had no idea. Everybody's always surprised. It's the same thing with Pitbull because since they're short, they get you with it. They already have a fully extended punch that you're catching the end of. They don't have to worry about all these long arm dummies. They, when they punch, they throw looping punches because they're so long or their punch is going to go past you. When all you have to do is just throw their punch from a little bit of a distance. And when they come fully extended, boom, you got them. A lot of knockouts you'll see when people just get knocked out cold are like that. They're at that perfect distance where that person has full extension and bam, they just catch them, unless you got stupid freak power like Stipe and he can just paw at you going the other way, and knock you out still. Man, I can't believe Juliana Pena is going to get a title shot. This is killing me right now. And that's
you know who Juliana Pena looks like? She looks like the actress hired to play Amanda Nunes in a story about Amanda Nunes.
On Lifetime. Oh, that's funny.
Like wearing pink gloves and shit.
Lifetime presents I'm getting my ass whooped.
Yeah, it's like the movie about Amanda Nunes where they like allude to her not being a lesbian. Like
it's too controversial for Lifetime, so they just leave it out.
Yeah, this is like the Amanda Nunes story. This is like the Amanda Nunes story made in the 90s. Like,
right? It's the after schoolhouse rock special of Amanda Nunes. Yeah, she's just I don't see her doing any of this to Amanda Nunes, like any of it.
She's too big. Like, look how small Juliana Pena is. Amanda Nunes towers over bitches.
And that's crazy. I don't think that Amanda Nunes is big at all. She doesn't look menacing to me. She doesn't look big to me. She doesn't.
You or me. Look at that. She has pimples, dude. That's a dude. Sorry, that's.
Oh, relax. Yeah, relax. No.
I'm sorry. I apologize off the bat. Like, I was just trying to be funny.
No. I know what you mean.
Every bit as funny as I think it is.
I know what you mean.
Every bit as funny as I think it is. It's just not as funny as I wanted it to be.
No. I know what you mean in what you're saying. I get that. That is going to bring a lot of heat on us. I'm not going to cut that out though. I know what you mean. But yeah.
No, you don't have to cut it out. But like, speaking of dudes, they just showed the Chris Cyborg fights. And it's just like, all right, man, like that was, I think, if you hate Amanda Nunes, Chris Cyborg was the last legitimate chance that you know about to beat Amanda Nunes, and it just wasn't even close. And like, I say that not taking anything away from Shevchenko, but I also think the problem is that Shevchenko, in every sense of the word, would have to go up in weight to fight her, which I don't think is necessarily fair because Shevchenko's ran the 125 division for how long? I don't think Amanda Nunes could get down in a healthy way to 125.
No. It's weird. Like I say, it's weird. Like Amanda Nunes she's still pretty feminine, like, I'll get back to like when you said, look, she's got pimples and stuff like that. It's like, I get what.
That was a joke.
No. I get what you're saying, but like the crazy part is like she's still like even with all that, even with her her body type isn't like for her being as big as she is and being almost at a way where she can fight a man, she's still really feminine looking. Like she doesn't have these crazy. She's not Megan Anderson, if I can say that. You know, two different body types.
I completely disagree.
She's not Megan Anderson.
I think Megan Anderson. I think Megan Anderson looks a lot more feminine for what the style she wears than Amanda Nunes does, and that's only because I'm biased. I'm biased in the sense that like I've watched these pre-fight, like, you know, like, oh, what are they doing in their home life sort of, you know, things, you know, those ESPN thingamajiggers they do, or those UFC things. But like,
Amanda Nunes doesn't have any like real. She don't have muscles even to me.
No. This is,
you know what I mean?
She
doesn't have muscles.
She's plenty muscly enough, dude. But check this out. This is a funny story that like I'll never forget as long as I can remember things. Is Amanda Nunes and Nina Ansaroff are married, right? And they decided to have a surrogate pregnancy where Nina Ansaroff had their baby. It was like obviously they had to have like, you know, an artificial insemination, so it's not like both there, but it was still like a birth, you know. So she had a little baby. There was a little redhead kid, I think. He's more white than he is anything else, but whatever. And that has nothing to do with anything. I'm just saying, like, he's a little redhead white kid.
He's just describing it. I got you.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. But they were both sitting there, you know, they were talking about what it's like to be mothers and blah 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 blah. And this is like before.
Yeah. I think I remember you telling me like she's like, oh, I didn't even want to hold the baby or something like that, right?
Well, it was something about the baby to where they're like, you know, so how is they asked Nina Ansaroff, like, so how is Amanda Nunes as, you know, a parent? And she's just like, I mean, she's good. She just, man, she like, I need her to understand that our dog and the kid are two separate things. She's like, and then the camera pans over to Nunes and she's like, well, you pet both, you feed both, you play with both. It's kind of like dog. And it's just like, our son's not a dog. Like, and like when you say Amanda Nunes is feminine, she like when I've heard her talk, she talks like a dude, but as a
right. And that's where what I'm saying is like she does not look as she acts, and she doesn't read as like when I see her about to fight, I don't see like any real. It's not like she don't have any muscles at all. It's just I don't see that. To me, she is the girliest one in every fight she's in. Looking at her, and that's not personality wise. I'm just saying like look in terms of aesthetic. She doesn't like. She's smooth. She doesn't have she's not ripped like Megan Anderson. You know what I mean? Like she's smooth. She's not ripped. It's just her body type. She's just feminine. She looks soft and smooth. It's weird to me. It's super weird. But she is the least soft and smooth one out there. Like when she had on that lion head against, Ronda Rousey. Like, it's just crazy to see how, people don't always interpret like the same thing. Like, okay, Ben Rothwell and, DeLima that he just fought. Like DeLima, he looked better in the fight, but like you were, he looked, okay. But like you were saying, Ben Rothwell, it looked like he's lost some weight and stuff like that. Got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? So that's all I was going to with that. But so that, I want to get back to Poirier real quick. I don't see him winning that fight if they keep it standing. I know that sounds weird, but I don't see him winning that fight if they keep it standing. I don't think he gets close enough. I think he gets picked apart. I think he gets, leg kicks. What do you think?
Sorry, which fighters were talking?
I said, I don't think, hold on. I said, I don't think that, I switched back to, Poirier and,
oh, okay. I was like, I heard so many names in what you were just saying. I didn't.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
So, okay.
I said, I don't see Poirier winning that fight if it stays standing.
Well,
Now that
here's
sounds weird, but
I
the
get
reason
that.
I say that is because Oliveira's he's got so much in his arsenal to keep him guessing. And I don't see him getting a clean shot. And I see him, maybe eventually it goes to the ground and Oliveira finishes him, but I don't see, if it stays just strictly on the ground, I don't see, Poirier winning. What do you think?
Well, like I said, I had two branches, and the first branch I already talked about, where Oliveira could get it to the ground and win that way. I also see the other branch, the second branch. I also see that being him using his technical prowess to, I guess, be more technical than Dustin Poirier, because Poirier's got technique and he's got power. We saw it versus McGregor. He comes in there, he knows what he's doing. He's also a veteran. He gets subtleties, and I think his standard's very good. I think he's very refined. I think he's very crisp. I think especially with his recent success, it's given him the ability to have access to better training and preparation and stuff. So I really see him coming prepared. I think Oliveira has more tools, kind of like you're saying. So I think Dustin Poirier's chance is to knock him out with one punch. Or I don't think he's going to sit there and I don't think he's going to sit there and just work him over and then get like a TKO. No, I think it's going to be like if Dustin Poirier wins, it's going to be on an exchange, and he just happened to have caught uncorked a good punch off of a good exchange and caught Oliveira across the chin. So
Yeah, I don't even know. See, I don't think Oliveira he needs to even get that close to him.
He does. That's what I'm saying. Like if he engages with Dustin Poirier on Dustin Poirier's brawler sort of let's go at this sort of shit, he's gonna lose. I don't think
he might try to, because he did it with Chandler. He did it to a little bit.
I don't think Charles Oliveira is necessarily gonna just one punch KO Dustin Poirier. I think he can finish him with punches and strikes. I just don't think he's gonna one punch KO him.
He might head kick him. I'm gonna be honest. I see him head kicking. I see him utilizing his kicks quite a bit on Poirier to keep him at bay so that he can't get that knockout punch off. And I see Poirier maybe getting frustrated with that. And it's a give and take sport. He's gonna have to give something up in order to get that punch off. And I think he's gonna give his head up. And I think Oliveira's gonna see that he's gonna drop that hand. He's gonna start to do it maybe third round or something. He's going to try to let his hands go, and he's going to start dropping his hand, letting his guard down. And Oliveira's going to slip a head kick in there. Maybe not knock him out, but it's going to be the beginning of the end for him. So watch out for that. I want to say left head kick. I just see left. Could be right. I don't know. I'm saying left head kick or head kick is going to be the beginning of the end for Dustin Poirier. Trust me on that.
What's kind of a weird X factor in this fight is, and I think it goes against Poirier, and that's kind of where I'm leaning towards Oliveira in general, is Dustin Poirier just got done doing the whole Conor McGregor thing. And you have to believe it's kind of like winning a Super Bowl and they say there's a hangover the next year. You just beat Conor McGregor in a tumultuous back and forth, not even in the fight, just before the fight.
Yeah, it's just you're super emotional, and this is his fight coming back from an emotional fight. He's not going to be in it the same. That's what I'm saying. It's all against him. He's going to be trying to fill him out because this is a real fight. This is a very different fight. The Conor McGregor fight was a fucking circus. This is a real fight against one of the absolute best fighters the UFC has ever seen. Seriously. The guy has he's what you would think the natural born killer was supposed to be. He's him at his max potential. I'm forgetting his name, but yeah, at his max potential. Yes, Carlos Condit. This is Charles Oliveira is Carlos Condit at maxed out potential now, and I think Oliveira is still not quite as good as he could be. He's still got some of that striking to clean up. Not that it's sloppy, but he's still gotta add a little bit to his striking. But that's it, just a little bit. And it's hard to beat him. You don't know how to beat him. We just said that it's crazy. This is how crazy just how good Charles Oliveira is. I said, if Poirier stands up with him, I don't see him winning. Now, Poirier is the one with crazy power. He's the one with the technical guy.
But yeah, Poirier can't go to the ground with him and expect to win. That's
I know, but he can't stand up with them either and expect.
But he can though. That's the only way he can.
I know. What I'm just saying, it's crazy. Like I was saying, like things just don't read the way they read the situations different for each person. Like for me and you, we're seeing it differently. But at the same time, our conclusion is that Charles Oliveira wins. You know, like no matter how you slice it, standing up, going to the ground, Charles Oliveira will win this fight. And we're saying this against Dustin Poirier. Like, just think about that, man. It's Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, that's the crazy part is like, are we really talking about Dustin Poirier like he's the underdog?
He is. He absolutely
is. You're right. No, he is. That's what I'm saying. Like, is this what it's come to? Like, man, this division's exciting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I honestly, I would love to see Conor McGregor fight more. Why? Because this division deserves it. Because Charles Oliveira is on top right now. Poirier is on top right now. And it's just a really good division. And having its biggest star would certainly go a long way in helping UFC build on what they got. You know, it's just a shame that the guy's an asshole and that he got his leg broken.
Well, the thing is, I think it would be a great service to the UFC if Conor McGregor just stowed his crap, healed his leg, came back and, fought, I'd say 3 times this next year. You got 3 times and, you got 4 months to train and heal up and stuff in between, show everyone what you're really made of. And then we'll start taking you seriously again. It doesn't matter about your personality. That just adds to it. But like right now, like with him fighting once every 2 years, it seems like, and coming off the broken leg, will I watch his next fight? Probably. Am I going to be excited about it? I'm just watching that as Conor McGregor, and I've already, read the book. I've already read the book this long. Might as well finish the story, right? Like,
yeah.
It's just,
I think you could do him and Chandler.
Dude, that would be a fucking not fair fight for Conor McGregor coming back to.
No, not coming back.
You got to give him like Sean O'Malley or somebody stupid like that. Like make Sean O'Malley eat some fucking pork or some beef or whatever. Make him gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Where he comes from, like.
I don't see O'Malley getting out of next week. Oh, wait, is it next week?
It's like December 11th, I think.
No, I think how they fight. I don't see Sean O'Malley.
I think Paiva's gonna fucking put on a show against him, man. That guy was fun to watch in his last fight.
The thing about speed is, it just won't matter sometimes, man. You can be faster than the other guy, but if that other guy takes that shit, he takes your best shots, you're in a lot of fucking trouble. And that's an edge for Poirier. He could take quite a bit. And Oliveira might have, a really big problem putting Poirier away because Poirier is really tough. Like that could be a very big problem for Charles Oliveira. The fact that Poirier would just still be around and you can't take him, that he can't take him down. Like if he can't find a way to get him to the ground, it's going to be it's going to be hard. He's going to have to destroy his legs. That's why I'm telling you head kick, man. Cause he's going to be going at he's just going to be chopping Poirier down. If Poirier's smart, he should be trying to chop him down.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Connie, yeah.
I think that's the only way he really has a real legitimate shot of winning. Chop those legs and put him on his heels. And then, if you can, go in there and get some clean strikes.
Yeah.
You say it's going to be one exchange where he just hits him with one. I think it's going to be
he might set it up, but I think it's not going to be one of those things where he's just like, overbearing, got him against the cage, just throwing a bunch of bombs. No, I think they're going to be like trading, and I think we would have up until that particular second probably given the edge to Oliveira. but then Poirier just uncorks something and it just hits him and goes down.
He certainly can. He certainly can. It's crazy, man. Like I don't see him. I think he's gone if he loses. Like he loses this fight. I'm seeing Poirier. Didn't he talk about retiring already?
Yeah.
He's done after this.
He's got a legacy. Like, yeah.
He's done after this. Just don't see it. He might even retire if he wins. Like, who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I can see him doing that. Cause why defend the title? For what? For who? Against who? For what?
Yeah. I mean, cause you have to, go fight Islam Makhachev next? Like, nah.
Or shit, let's just be for real. Like, if somebody get COVID and Michael Chandler's all of a sudden get another fucking fight, like,
yeah,
I don't think they do that. But still,
like, Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje again? Fuck that. You just saw what
he's got to fight Gaethje. Yeah, he's got to fight Gaethje next. So,
yeah. So like, you just
saw I would probably retire.
Yeah, no. Might as well.
I proved my point, right? Why do if you fight Gaethje, you're gonna get the shit beat out of you, even if you win. You cannot.
Remember, he's beaten Gaethje before, but that was like one of Gaethje's first fights in the UFC.
Yeah. I think no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not
before the Trevor Whitman camp switch that Gaethje made. Like, now he's got Trevor Whitman coaching him in the corner. Like,
dude, he can't take Gaethje's shots, man. I can guarantee you that. He's not gonna take it in.
Yeah, but at the same time, Justin Gaethje's just a different fucking fighter than he used to be when he fought Poirier the first time.
And that's not to take anything away from Poirier, but like Poirier isn't Michael Chandler. They're two different fighters. And the way Michael Chandler fights, Poirier, that's not a good fight for Dustin Poirier. You retire before you fight Justin Gaethje, guaranteed. Like, I mean, right. I'm talking about from a health point of view. From a, do you want to be a man point of view? Yeah, you fight him. You probably lose, but you fight him. If we're talking about who's the man, yeah, you got to fight him, and then you can retire. Because then there's no one else for you to beat. Like I said, the only other guy is Michael Chandler. The only reason I'm throwing his name out there, even though he's lost like he has, is because he's the new guy on the block still. That like not everybody is fault. So yes, if you're about to retire, you say, I want to fight Michael Chandler. You have to say that. If you fight Gaethje, Chandler's next. I'll straight up tell people. I'm like, no, Chandler's next. I know he don't deserve it. I don't care. Put him in there. Well, or whoop Conor McGregor's ass again.
After this weekend, technically, you got to fight Chandler to get to Gaethje.
All right. Oh shit, that's right. No, but yeah. So, any other thoughts on on anything else before we watch this Max Holloway fight?
No,
this is going.
I was gonna cut off the cut it to the end and watch this Holloway versus Rodriguez fight. Which honestly, I was like, we should watch this whole thing. But if it's the main event, it could go 25 more minutes, and I don't know if
it's definitely going 20. It's definitely going 25 minutes.
It's going to go 24 minutes and 58 seconds.
But no, I think that's the name of it. 24 minutes and 58 seconds. Nah, that's not a good name. People are like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, that's not how long it is. I'm gonna confuse people.
Yeah, and Yair Rodriguez finished Korean Zombie technically in the last second of the last round, and it was a 5-round main event. So he's tied. I think they just showed the graphic. He's tied for second place in, or I guess tied for first, because you can't really get closer than the last second of the last round, can you?
Right.
But he's tied for first on that regard. So I don't know. I'm excited to watch this one, but I'm glad we got to get one of these in. It's been a while.
All right, say the line.
It's time. No, I'm just joking.
No, that's what you said at first. That's what you said at first.
This has been Sporticus, and you've been sports entertained.
Sporticus is now on Patreon. We have 3 tiers: $1, $2, and $5. You can get things like bonus episodes, chat forums, polls and voting, live stream Q&As, monthly giveaways, and fan recognition. Become a patron today.